Citizen for Modern Transit was an organization which we organized to both advocate for for the Metrolink and for public transit generally, and also to do the kinds of public relations that we needed to create excitement in the community and get people to want to see the system built and want to ride it after it was built. Perhaps the biggest moment was when it first opened and we saw these mobs of people wanting to get on and ride and see what it provided. That was something that caused a lot of enthusiasm on the part of the membership of the organization and on the part of those who took pride in its founding, which included my effort.
A great city needs advocates, and we need advocates in great public projects. Citizens for Modern Transit has always been a great advocate and champion for transit.
Advocacy is one of those things that you know the effect of it when it's absent. So it's kind of like integrity. You know, it's hard to define integrity, but you know when it's missing. When you don't have advocates, when you don't have folks who are not only advocates, maybe sometimes even irritants, making sure that the importance of transit, public transportation is understood by civic leaders, by elected officials, and by our partners in at Bi-State Development, we would miss an opportunity.
They're like that valuable sibling, right? We both push each other and kind of work in specific areas. So yeah, we get nudged by our advocacy organization, CMT, and that's good. So to see something that's new and something that's possible, that's one of the kind of, advocacy pieces of how to aspire to something greater.
Organizations like Citizens for Modern Transit are so essential in this space. I think it's important now in this region. We have a decision to make, and making a decision that binds us together is really important. And so really thinking in this time frame about how transportation, particularly transit, begins to anchor and to bridge and to develop over the next 10 years is just so essential.
We don't operate the transit system. We support the transit system. We are champions of the transit system, which doesn't mean we are cheerleaders for the transit system. We absolutely understand that there are things that need to be improved. We want to be a part of helping to ensure those improvements make it to the top of the list.
CMT's it has to continue to broaden its advocacy. It has developed innovative ideas in the past for the various transit officials. I think it has to continue to do that.
When you're trying to get a lot of people working on something of this magnitude, there's always little holes that are created where, someone needs to fill that gap, fill that hole. and push the emphasis just a little bit further. CMT has always filled those gaps, have found those pieces and those resources that were needed at the time, at that time.
There are things that our bi-state development agency can do, and there are things that they can't do. And we sometimes can stand in the gap for them as we advocate and push. We are a not-for-profit organization. We don't get our funding from any of the government entities. So we have the ability to maybe push a little harder on those entities when it is necessary.
Citizens for Modern Transit has been absolutely essential for us to get to where we are today. Without them, we could not be here. They, from the start, have been a valuable partner with Cortex in being able to do the initial study and then to track through with the full application for a federal grant to be able to bring this station to fruition.
We do so many things behind the scenes that, we know how heavy the lift is, but we make it seem easy for our constituents and for the community.
CMT is one of the leaders. So one of the prime leaders to making St. Louis into a greater place, into including all aspects of the community. So in uniting all of these diverse voices, all the way from the north side to the south side to either side of the river, from O'Fallon, Missouri to O'Fallon, Illinois. So we have to unite these disparate areas into one vision of St. Louis. CMT has that vision.
We really need transit to be that integral anchor for all people, for all occasions at all times, as it is in other cities. St. Louis is an awesome place to be, and this is just another way for us to move up the needle in terms of great cities to be in.
We have one mission, and that is to see public transportation be all that it can be. And whether we're talking about Midtown, whether we're talking about the Central West End, whether we're talking about North County or South County, we know the importance of transit.